I am a very big fan of Hallmark Christmas films, and one of my favourite Hallmark actors is Danica McKellar. I absolutely love her, and mostly I've only seen in the dramas and the non-Christmas films, but I think I'd seen her in at least one Christmas film before. But either way, I knew that there was going to be at least something about my Christmas dream that I liked. I will say it's not the title. The title, I think, could have been a lot better and could have reflected the actual narrative a lot more. But if that's my biggest issue with this film, then really the film is pretty golden. This one was released in 2016, directed by James Head, written by Don Perez and Ron Oliver, starring, of course, Danica McKellar as our protagonist, Christina. Christina is the manager of a department store. Straight away, my heart started skipping because I love Christmas films set in department stores because it gives us so much scope for, gift wrapping, Christmas decorations, overhead Christmas music, the resident Santa Claus. That's something that I really enjoy a lot of, and as I had expected with Hallmark, they did it very well here. There is another film that is, in fact, I think there are two other Hallmark films that are set in department stores that I have seen. I'm sure there are more, and they just hit the nail on the head every single time with the setting, and it just works so well. That aspect of it, absolutely fantastic. Christina is not the biggest fan of Christmas, but she has to put together a Christmas display to impress the store owner with the hope that she may get the opportunity to move to a new store that is being opened up in Paris. Christina loves Paris. It's a dream of hers to live there. Everything seems to make perfect sense, and she really wants this opportunity. It wouldn't be a Hallmark film without a love interest. And we certainly have a love interest in the shape of David Haydn-Jones's character Kurt, who is very likeable, really easy to get on with, and obviously, again, it's a Hallmark film. They have a rocky start, and then we have a whole will they, won't they. Another classic blueprint part of Hallmark, we have a young child. Cooper is played by Convery, and he is adorable. He's definitely one of my favourite Hallmark children, if that makes any sense. He is obviously quite a young character. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but I want to say about 5. And he takes a liking to Christina and plays a big role in the development of Christina and Kurt's relationship. But I'm not going to say what actually happens with the conclusion. It's actually very unpredictable. Well, marginally unpredictable the way it ends. I won't divulge the details, but I thought, this is what's going to happen. They're going to do this, and I'm going to roll my eyes. Because as much as I love Hallmark films, they do often have very cliche endings that are not necessarily what I would have wanted for the protagonist. But this one, for me, was actually really refreshing. I loved the premise. I loved the execution. I loved the characters. I loved the setting. I was going to say I loved the music. I'm actually trying to think. There must have been at least a Christmas song in this, but nothing comes to mind. So the music definitely wasn't something that stood out to me. But the decor, just these small little touches of like a little sparkly gold Christmas tree on a department store counter and things, just great attention to detail, brilliant lighting, everything was very well lit. I'm not sure if this was filmed in an actual department store or a constructed set. I assume it would have been an actual department store, as it probably would have been cheaper to rent out the store than it would have been to build an entire, well, at least a couple of floors. But unfortunately, that information is not on IMDb. If you know, either way, please feel free to let me know. I can't fault it. It's not my favourite Hallmark Christmas film, but actually, it might be in the top 5. Now, I always say it's not my favourite, with really, really great ones, but actually, I don't know what my favourite Hallmark Christmas film is. There are some that are so amazing that I would say watch them regardless of whether or not you like Hallmark. And then there are those that are good, but they're definitely quintessential Hallmark. This one, I'd say, is pretty much exemplary when it comes to the Hallmark Christmas film blueprint. But there are some things like the way it develops that make it a little bit more unique. I really thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. If I tried to find fault with it, apart from the fact that I think the title is quite week. I mean, off the top of my head, could I think of a better title? No, I can't. But I'm sure with some brainstorming, there would be a better option out there. But, brilliantly cast, acted, great narrative development. The aesthetic is brilliant. Absolutely gorgeous.